Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm about to share in short a little bit about myself, my story, and why I do what I do. Until I was 30, I have studied and done different kinds of jobs. I have worked in five-star hotels, I've worked in administration and accounts in hospital, I have worked in corporate offices, owned restaurant, and been a part of my husband's various businesses. But for the past 15 years, I have been a student of alignment, and for the past 10 years, I've been teaching wellness and women's empowerment, life coaching, and so on. What I learn is what I teach, and what led me to this journey of self knowledge, self discovery, and dare I say, enlightenment is a health scare I had when I was 30 years old. I had a non specific autoimmune condition which modern medicine could not tell specifically, give me the name of what I was going through. So at this point, I was a teacher in TAFE in Australia, pursuing my master's degree in education, so I can become a lecturer. And a lot of things was going on for me. Also, trying to start a family. I was going through infertility, like unable to conceive for about 3 years at this stage. So all of this is happening in my life, and suddenly I have a fever which wouldn't stop, fleeting joint pains and skin lesions. And I went from pillar to post from all kind of specialists and tests, and they were ruling out all kind of autoimmune conditions but couldn't really put a point pin anything in particular so that they can decide on the course of my treatment. So meanwhile, until this time, it was about almost 2 months by then, me running from doctor to doctor and trying to figure out what's wrong, but the symptoms were consistently happening, which was just managed through fever medicine, anti-inflammatory medicines, and antibiotics. Nothing came down. I hit rock bottom and started feeling depressed as well. Being a migrant in Australia, it was only me and my husband, so I finally chose to go in a wheelchair back to India to figure out while having some sort of family support back home. So when I went to India, I continued my treatment for a further 1 month in modern medicine, seeing doctors and hospitals there. But at the end, they decided that let us try steroids. So that's when me and my husband decided that we are not going to take steroids because I'm still trying to conceive and see other ways to heal. And through a friend, we found this person who practices yoga and Ayurveda, and I took a huge leap of faith purely out of despondency more than anything else to go see him and see what he has for me. So as soon as I went to him, he stopped all my medications cold turkey and put me on a protocol, a strict protocol. I followed everything he said, and within 3 weeks, after having suffered for 3 months with no clue, I recovered completely in 3 weeks and shedding a ton load of weight as well in the process. And everyone who saw me experienced a miracle, to be honest. And myself, I so many transformations happened within me, not just um, physically but mentally and emotionally as well. And since then, I have been obsessed and passionately learning. I have been a student of figuring out why what he said worked for me. I was later told by him that I was the best patient he's had because I followed everything he said to the T, and hence I got the result. Uh, but I wanted to learn and understand why this worked. I was absolutely fascinated to see that, oh, I need to understand this. And so I have, after finishing my master's degree in yoga, I was still trying to conceive, and I finally conceived my twins when I went back to India. Again, I resorted to yoga to heal after my pregnancy from having been in bed rest. I had to be in bed rest to have my precious children. So I went back to yoga and to heal, and so I enrolled into a master's degree in yoga so that I will practice for 2 years and totally understand and go through the whole transformation process. It was a huge decision for someone who has gone from Australia to India just for a year before I could come back. But I put everything on the line because that's how serious and committed I was to learn it. Learning yoga transformed my life. After 2 years, I thought I should continue to teach this so that I gain more insights, continue to practice, and also share this knowledge. I felt obligated to share this knowledge and thinking how many people are out there suffering without this knowledge. They don't teach this in school. In my opinion, this should be part of the curriculum, and I hope one day it becomes. I hope in future, especially with everything that's going on right now, I think more knowledge about one's body and mind is the most important part of what the children should learn, to be honest. So I have been teaching ever since. For last 10 years, my husband pursued master's degree just by seeing my transformation. He pursued his 2 years course in yoga. Besides finishing my course, I am also certified in level 2 Reiki healing. I did acupuncture. I learned nature cure science and practice. I did independent certification in Hatha Yoga, Kundalini Yoga. I did Vipassana meditation and learned different kinds of meditation styles. So I've been a continuous learner, and I share what I learn and I embody for the last 15 years. I've been a student, 10 years teaching. Now, I came back to Australia when my kids were about 6 years old. What was meant to be 1 year became 6 years. And then when I came back, I set up the studio that you see behind me in my home. And I have been teaching in the local council for seniors, chair-based yoga. I do regular kids yoga, and I was doing teaching adults. But COVID stopped all my activities in the council, and I moved my kids yoga class online and stopped any other activity, going through all the uncertain times we were going through. But it opened a whole new door for me where I realized that my services can now be available for anyone around the world instead of being limited to people who live around my suburbs. So I have moved to online, and hence creating my presence online, creating my YouTube channel, and I had my Kaya Google Kaya Facebook page, and I have a website which is all getting done. I'm able to offer my services online. So what I do now is I offer private coaching, I do group coaching, and I'm about to offer all my courses in a digital format and also training online as well. So stay tuned to what I come up with. I have a short course available to get a taste for what you're in for when you enroll into my course. That course by itself, if you do, is going to be hugely beneficial. It could just start your journey, or it could be just that one thing which will transform you in certain way in a certain part of your life, and then you can pick it up from wherever you are later. So thank you for watching my channel and supporting my work. DM me to find more information if you're interested in my classes, and I'll be happy to help. And put a comment on topics you'd like me to speak to, and I speak about, and I'll make my best efforts to speak on topics that might benefit people. Thank you. Have a nice day.